Hello, I'm Jabbar S. Hiles, Creative Director of Film School Projects. Normally, I make skateboard videos from working in Bangkok, Thailand, and between the United States. But today, we're going to do things a little different. I'm going to talk to you about some DIY tips and not so much what to build or how to build, but just some little tips, things that the other videos I watched may not tell you. So, we're going to do what to do and what not to do. First thing I want to say, if you're going to DIY anything, man, you want to pick the neighborhood or community. You don't want to set up anything in like Beverly Hills, that's for sure. You want to pick a side of town that is like, let's say, economically low in value. Why? Because it would be the place to set things up in the hood. Okay, for instance, no one's going to bother you if you're building something, if you're picking up trash and litter. Why? Because in those areas, no one does that. And if you're doing something positive in that sense, that's a plus for you. And that's a chance that you'll have more success with building something. You don't want to pick a place like Beverly Hills and try to DIY something. It's not going to work, okay? So that's something that you want to think about of things not to do as well as things to do. Also, what you want to do is talk to the neighbors. You want to tell them what you're doing, okay? You're cleaning up, you're building something for a sport. I personally would stay away from the word skateboard because it has a negative content or it has a negative voice for people outside of skateboarding. And when you tell people what you're doing, you want to guide them through the truth of what you're doing. You want to paint a positive picture. Hence the reason why I say you want to pick up trash, you want to tell them, and you want them to see you picking up trash because you're doing something positive that you won't find most people doing. Avoid heavy traffic, okay? You don't want to DIY anything where there's a lot of people going through, people checking you out, looking at you, giving people a reason to say something. It's just not a good idea. Take authority into your own hands in the sense of when you're working, you want to work with confidence. Don't go looking around, being nervous. Everybody that walks by you, you want to make direct eye contact with them while you're building something. You want to stay away from that. You want to work with confidence, okay? And when I stated low-income neighborhoods, things as such as the hood, you want to go there at the right time, okay? You don't want to go there building something at 10 o'clock at night. Nah, you don't want to do that. You want to stay away from that. There are a lot of successful DIY projects that have been taking place in cities like Detroit, Chicago, around the world, okay? You want to be smart about it and you want to carry out the mission. You don't want to start something that you have to stop because you're investing time and money, and that's important to you. Your materials, okay? Don't be afraid to use off-brands. You can go to Home Depot. They do sell bags of cement. Any hardware store that's locally, that would be the place to get your stuff from, okay? That's where you want to get your supplies when you can. Free supplies from places like abandoned construction sites. I've gone to many construction sites and seen buckets of paint, empty buckets, 4x4s, and plywood, okay? If it's been sitting there for weeks and months, they're finished building. Sometimes they just leave them there, okay? Those are the places that you want to look. If you see plywood leaning against the fence in an alley by a trash dump, to ask the neighbors, is this being used? I have taken and I have been offered to take, okay, plywood from people who said, we don't want it, it's weather warped. Well, judging on the area, it's going to be beneficial to receive or gather some materials in the daytime, and others, it may be more beneficial to gather them at night. Once again, depending on the traffic, the neighborhood, and the environment, and where you're getting the materials from. I have a friend who gathered his materials from an abandoned building that was condemned or there was a fire there. He chose to get them in the daytime as well as night, depending on when he had to work and when he was available with time to get the materials. So that's something else that you want to keep in mind as well. Using materials, there can always be different alternatives. For instance, rebarb has been advised to use to stabilize the surface of the cement. Chicken wire works just as well. It's cheap, especially if you double it or triple the layers of chicken wire. You can apply that just as you would rebarb. You can check Home Depot, even places like Walmart would have chicken wire. Fillers, different junk, metal, tires can be used as fillers as well. As long as it's solid and stable, you can use it. You want to stay away from things like leaves and so on. Doesn't work. It doesn't have any density. So that's something else that you want to keep in mind. Weather is another thing that comes into effect when you're building. Temperatures are different. For people in Florida, the temperature is going to be different for someone in Chicago. Someone doing a DIY project in Alaska, their results are going to be different than people in Bangkok, Thailand. Okay? Climate plays a big part in all of this. What could help you guide you with this? Not only a skateboard DIY videos on YouTube or elsewhere, but also watch videos that have to deal with cement, Portland cement, and different ways to mix mortar. They also help. They'll give you a lot of tips and know how to do and what not to do that you won't find in skateboard DIY projects and their videos. So that's also something to keep in mind. What has helped me out and my friends out to go about DIYing projects would be one video, How to DIY Skate Spots. Bank to Curb by Zach Dowie. That's a very good video. Another video I checked out was Build to Grind, How to Make a Jersey Barrier Skatable with Lefty and Rhino by Independent Trucks. That's a video I watched a few times, and I've taken a lot out of that video. The Bill Project, How to Quick Crate a Jersey Barrier by the 510 Skate Shop. Another video that is not DIY skateboard orientated, but it is just as helpful, was What Cement Should I Use Part 1 and Part 2 by Mike Haddock. Very good video. My inspiration for starting DIY projects or looking into them in the Midwest came about from a gentleman in Bangkok, Thailand, who owns Roti Skate Shop. A homie of mine by the name of Chai. Look him up, Sak Chai Bukwa, on Instagram, if I'm saying his name right, but his Instagram tag is at Chai Latte. So that'll be CHAI_LATTE. Man, he took a whole basketball court, not just one basketball court, but a park of basketball courts, and turned it all into a skate park using anything from plastic 2-liter bottles to cement to beer bottles to tires to car rims. Be sure to check us out at filmschoolprojects.com. There you can follow our social media, check out our skate videos on our video and footage page. I've been filming from all over the world, from Bangkok, Thailand, Japan, all the way back to the Midwest of America, Chicago, Rockford, Illinois. I like taking footage from around the world, piecing it together, and delivering decent skateboard footage for you. It's skate videos without the internet's algorithm. Okay, it's all legit. Check it out. Be sure to subscribe when you go to our website, Twitter, YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook as well. We're there for you. We'll bring you more. We used to sell materials as far as skate goods, t-shirts, and stickers. Might get into that into the year to come. So stay tuned. We'll bring you more and deliver decent videos like this to you. Take care, like, subscribe, and follow us. All right.